Capucine. So you've been organizing some of the activities in Geneva during the Climate City Cup. Would you want to tell us a little bit how came that you were involved and what did you find most interesting about Climate City Cup?
Thank you. So my name is Capucine. I work for a company called ACA Technology. It's a consulting company specialized in mobility. In other words, we hire high profiles of engineers that we send to different constructors in the automotive, railways, and aircraft sector, and for a short period of time to really help on specific part of the R&D. This will lead us to Climate City Cup because based on the question actually I asked to Monica a bit earlier, saying like according to you what prevents CEOs to really take the green path in a way, I kind of knew the answer but I wanted to know if she shared the same opinions. Guess what, we agree on that. I think there are two tendencies currently that kind of prevent large corporations to become a bit more responsible, let's say. First is the willingness of shareholders to review their profits strategy. And the other one is still, surprisingly enough, the lack of awareness regarding the current status quo. I can't really have an impact on the first one so far. I'm still not CEO of any large corporation. But on the second one, I said, okay, what can we do? And we decided with my team to partner with Open Geneva, and this is how we got to know Fatime. Oh, perfect. Speaking about Open Geneva, hello Thomas.
Hello Thomas, hi.
So yeah, about 8 months ago, ACA Switzerland signed a partnership with Open Geneva, and we decided to organize the first hackathon about sustainable mobility. And that's thanks to Open Geneva that I got to know Fatime and heard about Climate City Cup for the first time. So it was in May, the hackathon happened in June, and I was like, this is dope. This is a great idea. So basically we organized a 2 days hackathon within our premises in Geneva. And what I really liked about this project is that it was super inclusive. I think your team was the one with the most diverse teams in terms of profile. You had people without any technical profiles. Some of them were super high engineers. And in the end, the goal was like, okay, how can we raise the awareness towards a more sustainable mobility? So that's it for me.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Should we maybe also present quickly Thomas, who just connected? Thomas, a few words from you. So you're in Geneva currently, right?
Yes, sorry for not being able to make it to Zurich. I love Zurich, but it was really impossible for me to come today. I'm Thomas Mayer with the University of Geneva, but I'm also the president of Open Geneva. And I must say, we're very proud to be partner of the Climate City Cup because as Open Geneva, our goal is really to foster open innovation in the Great Geneva region, but also across the world now, because we are going to have a sister festival of open innovation in Beijing next week. And all the idea is really that everyone in the city should become an innovator and should take their destiny into their hands through innovation in a way that is really common. And we believe the values of the Climate City Cup are pretty much perfectly aligned with our goals, and that's the reason why we are so happy to be partner of the Climate City Cup and to have Climate City Cup to be a partner of Open Geneva. Basically, just a description very quickly, the description of Open Geneva. This is a festival of open innovation. In 2019, we had 30 hackathons, 1,200 participants. So we're never too proud of being just a bit bigger than Hack Zurich, but we are certainly way more open and very much more inclusive. And all these hackathons are generally geared towards improving the world, making we heard first a better pizza. And we had a hackathon from companies like ACA Technology, as we could hear just before, but previously also from the United Nations, library on digital humanities. We have hackathons co-organized with NASA and the UNEP, United Nations Environmental Program. We had a hackathon organized in health and to help disabled people. So I could just go for a long list, but just to give you a taste of pretty much decentralized yet powerful gathering of people. So the next festival will be 19th to 29th of March, and it will we expect it again a big success with a lot of citizens being involved. What we really want to stress is that these hackathons are not for only an academic elite, but we need to be very inclusive and to be accessible to everyone. We believe that because you get a lot of serendipity in hackathon and a lot of people coming from all over with different mindsets, different perspectives, this brings the richness of innovation. So we don't want to have ivory towers innovation, we want to have open innovation.
Great, thank you,
Yeah.
Thomas. Maybe just to provide a little bit of background, so we are a citizen-based initiative, but on the other side we also collaborate with different existing already structures, and we participated to different hackathons to find solutions to our technical issues related to different disciplines. But we have also a representative from civil society coming from Bonn. Sandra, welcome.
Hello.
Yeah. So maybe you can just quickly introduce yourself, who you are, and how have you heard about Climate City Cup? How it happened?
Yeah, my name is Sandra Prüfer. I'm a Bonn-based journalist and impact communication consultant. So I worked internationally, lived most of my adult life not in my native country, but in the United States, and I'm familiar with this hackathon and startup approach. So I attended, not as a journalist, but as an NGO observer, the climate conference in Bonn. It's in June, which is actually the working conference preparation for the upcoming COP25. And there was a press conference where the City Climate Cup was introduced, and yeah, so I was totally fascinated when I heard this, and I was especially eager to get one of the sensors because in Bonn, I mean, we have a lot of sustainability actors there. The UN Climate Secretariat, 20 UN organizations, think tanks, and so forth. But we also have the civil society, and they are very, very active. With the Fridays for Future, but there's also a climate virtual. You know, they meet once a month, and so we had just passed. Initiated by the Fridays for Futures and the Parents for Future and this climate virtual, a climate emergency declaration of the City Council. And Bonn is also one of the cities, I think 36, with very high air pollution. So the whole topic of air pollution is one that we want to basically collect data on, and then really go to the city. Okay, here are the hotspots, and but there's also a mobility transition initiative that just started, and I was sitting in this press conference with Johanna Schäfer. She's a young architect, city planner, and we just like looked at each other and said, like, oh my God, we want to be part of this. And I'm also co-founder of Green Drinks Bonn, and we use these meetups to tell people about it. And we kind of like touch the problem of communication. There at this press conference, there were hardly any journalists, and not our local media. So nobody knew about this. So there was no reporting within the city. So we had to do this through our informal channels and using social media. So I'm happy that, you know, for all the participants for Bonn, that we scored in mobility. So that's kind of like greatly appreciated. And I'm also Parents for Future engaged there, and so we really want to take climate action, bring it to the our employers. What can we do? To the local stores and communicating something. We don't have to wait for our government. I mean, we have, of course, this red climate card for our German government because we're not really happy with the proposal. And but it's also like citizen action and also helping scientists to collect data. I think that's a really good thing, and we really want to continue the collaboration.
Yeah, I've seen you've brought actually quite a lot of material back there, so you maybe also be there around later today when people have questions.
Of course, now everybody's mobilizing for the next global climate strike on the 29th of November. And in Germany, it's very much focused to put pressure on the government to pass a climate law and implement the SDGs and climate protection in a way that is really will help to accomplish the goals of the Paris Agreement, which we are far away from. Now, and we also, with the mobilization that is happening within this family, I mean, these are scientists, these are parents that are working in sometimes positions where they really can use their professional skills to, develop. Here, it was a graphic designer from Bonn. She developed this, and there were 100,000 of these cards printed in 100 cities of Germany now. So we can kind of like create some bottom-up pressure, where we also, kind of like have to work in different ways. And also, as a journalist, I've worked on the issue for many years. Actually, I also lived in Alaska. My daughter was born there, and it's really heartbreaking. Because climate change is twice as fast happening in the Arctic, and to know when she goes back there, we're not going to find the Alaska that we left. The permafrost thaw is freaking me out. So this is really accelerating, and we cannot basically stop it. We can slow it down, but that really needs immediate action. And so I'm trying to communicate this for many years now. And but I also learned, when I talk about Alaska that's so far away, people need to have something locally that they can relate to, something also to touch them emotionally. Like scientific reports, you can read them, you can try to understand them, but it's hard really to get people then into action. And I've learned also to work with artists and other people to do the storytelling. So this is also something I'm engaged in. There's a little wooden figure, and this is actually traveling and also bringing out a message. So I can tell you a little bit more about that too, if you like to.
Great, thank you. I'm listening to your testimony. I would say that in fact in Germany, in Bonn especially, there is this rise of awareness and citizens ask government to do something. I was wondering if we think about the corporate ecosystem, do you feel like employees also they ask for some actions from employer, and especially within your experience, Hacker Academy and the collaboration with Open Geneva is something that goes a little bit outside of the corporate dynamics. Is there something bottom up, or do you think it's more like a top-down strategy?
Definitely bottom up. Top down, you could almost judge it directly by going on the website of the company. But I don't want to enter into the CSR greenwashing potential debates. No, I will try to focus just on the bottom of things. What I noticed, and at least from a recruiter point of view, I'm not a recruiter myself, but I work with many people recruiting here in Geneva, more and more young talents are nowadays refusing to work in very successful companies, top one in their sector, because they don't find enough sustainable values in their daily life missions. This is definitely something growing. It's not the major trend yet, but at least from being someone from their generation, I would say, is definitely growing. So there I see two things: either boycotts from more and more young new workers, or what we call corporate entrepreneurship. And this is why I strongly believe in open innovation, because if we keep on blaming each other, saying like, you have your responsibility, we won't move before you move, then we're never gonna move. So I know it could sound a bit maybe scaring when you say that to people who are ecologically very active, but having one foot in each side, I would definitely believe that solution is as well a part of corporations. They create majority of the problems, but they could have such an amazing impact if some decision makers choose to do the good decisions. So in the meantime, let's not stay still standing, as you said, and that's why by developing local actions such as hackathon and showing our young employees that they can have their own impact, at least among their team, this is how we could slowly but surely change the mentalities of the top decision makers. So at least at HACA, for example, the hackathon trend of saying, yeah, let's open our doors, let's take the risk of putting some developments in open source. This could definitely lead to a little change. So.
Cool. Yeah, it's very good to see that the spirit of the Climate City Cup, which is trying to combine awareness for global change and global problems with very local actions and initiatives. And the idea was that people take pride in the local activities they're doing and also in the rankings, and it's really good to see that I saw Sandra when we said Bonn is #1 in mobility. She was like, yeah, we won it. And also I heard from Thomas that the competition between Zurich and Geneva is always there somehow. So Thomas, you actually you missed that part, but Geneva was ranked second twice in the rankings. And so my question, to maybe conclude this panel in the interest of the time, very quick answer: how do you want to make sure that next time Geneva is ranked first in one of the different disciplines?
Yeah, thank you, Stefan. I'm personally against rankings and everything, but I'm very happy we have a thank you for awarding Geneva second rank. I don't know if you can. Our idea is really to go further, really the direction of what Climate City Cup has told us, which is that we need to integrate more data science. I think for us the next challenge is really to turn citizens into data scientists. And I think the Climate City Cup is really into that. I mean, we are asking citizens to collect data, to innovate about collecting data, and then make their own mind about what is the status of pollution or food waste or other things, and then from this they can really take action or like push governments to take action in the proper way. And I feel this is a very scientific way to proceed, and this is also a very empowering way for people would demonstrate or would get frustrated about the state of the world to actually move further in a constructive way. So our big next challenge for Open Geneva is now to increase the technical level of our participants. And we don't know exactly how we are going to do that, but we are really committed to this idea that actually citizens should not be only innovators in the sense that they're just doing design thinking and some of the usual things you might see sometimes at hackathons, but we also want to have them to become more technical. And the big challenge for us is to lift the level of all people who are willing to become better, to be better, but without having to go through a full curriculum of engineering school or technical university like ETH Zurich, for instance. So I know the challenge because I've been through EPFL and ETH Zurich, and the big challenge is for us now to make that access to data science accessible to all citizens. So I hope it maps into this move, this trajectory move will help us to go for ranking #1 next year. We'll see.
So I guess with this we would conclude the panel already. We will have you round for lunch and for the rest of the day for individual discussions, and we would move on to the next speaker.
Exactly, just maybe to distribute officially the prizes. I mean, it's still a cup, right? So,
Right.
so I would like to attribute the third prize, the Climate City Cup, for the discipline of flight compensation to City of Bonn. Congratulations. And as we know already, that City of Bonn got the first prize of the Climate City Cup in discipline of mobility.
Thank you.
So, thank you very much, Sandra. So, thank you, Sandra, for all the activities and your engagement. And we have also the prizes for Geneva. So the second prize of Climate City Cup in discipline of mobility goes to the City of Geneva and capacity Geneva. And also Geneva was ranked in the discipline of flight compensation, and again it's a second prize. Hopefully next time it will be
Next time first.
the first one. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. We will say goodbye to Thomas online. You can join us through the regular live stream again from now on. Thank you for participating.
Thank you.